Shall I do that?
Yeah.
Does that actually do anything?
No. Luke. I am your father.
No, I've got the Darth Vader lightsaber.
All right. Cool.
It's red, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
You're Luke.
Luke doesn't have it. Oh well, it's sort of blue.
It's green. It's green in Jedi.
No, the one he makes is green. I see you have constructed a new lightsaber.
Your skills are complete.
That's the green one. The original one, the white
Blue.
one.
Well,
And that's why in the movie, when he's not really there, he's got the white one, and they just broke the white one. He should have the green one. And that's the other hint that he's not there.
ah.
Hello, and welcome to In the Court of Wenton King. We should do... Well, I don't know, maybe we should do like a little... Yoda something. We're reviewing Peter Hammill. This is a request on our Patreon, www.patreon.com/WentonKing. Our Black Box, 1980. That's quite interesting. A very prolific man. Ninth studio album in 1980, as well as doing Van de Graaff. This was requested over what I think are the famous ones, which are the ones that go between Porn Hearts and God Bluff. Silent Corner at an Empty Stage, or whatever it's called. And I think there's two of them. I don't know if that's because there's a sidelong thing on this one, maybe. But it's a proper solo album in that he records all the stuff himself, pretty much. There's a couple of guest spots, but apart from that, that's the thing. Overall, it's a mess. Some of it's really good though, and some of it's sort of bafflingly bad. But the polarisation between what the fans think and what the professional reviewers thought is fascinating. It's funny that people think it's a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy; they just disagree with you. Doesn't take much critical thought to work that one out. What were your thoughts on either?
Peter Hammill. Well, didn't we get a bit of criticism on VDG that we didn't analyse the lyrics?
We got a lot of criticism on VDG general. I think there was, there's a combination of a couple of factors there. I think the I've discovered there is something I don't quite get about Peter Hammill. I think he's fantastic, but I'm not quite there. There's a thing missing. I think Van de Graaff fans are really aggressive. I think it's a thing. Jethro Tull fans are really aggressive. Except for me, I'm nice.
I got that sense that Van de Graaff Generator fans think Van de Graaff Generator is the best band there's ever been and will ever be. And
and we didn't get that. We thought it was just good.
Yeah, I'm with you actually. I don't quite get it because it's a kind of Bowie type thing. There's something going on here which just fundamentally doesn't chime with me at all. I'm sure there is sort of meaning to all of this, but that meaning escapes me, and I'm not even sure if I did get it, whether it would be worth it, sort of thing.
I definitely think he's influenced Bowie. It's that way around. He influenced Bowie, not the other way around.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, it's a mixture of weird drumming. Didn't like the drumming. Yeah, the drumming was sort of all over the place. Well, not all over the place. It was recorded strange, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, some of it is great. I wonder if he would have been better off getting a drummer to do the same thing.
Yeah, because he did the drumming, didn't he? Or something like that.
And you can tell he's having a lot of fun with the drums.
Yeah.
It's what I would do, Yeah, it would sound terrible.
Is there supposed to be? Is it supposed to be something that you're supposed to ponder and think about and then try and understand?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's his thing. It's very much ponder. Ponder is a good word.
Yeah, but I mean the fact that it's so unnormal sounding. Yeah, doesn't that sort of break that kind of process a little bit? I mean, the great things that have hidden meaning are perfectly normal on the surface. Yeah.
Yes.
So it passes. So it passes you by if you're not listening to it, and it's only on a moment of introspection you realise there's something else here.
Yeah.
For this, you kind of the fact that you need a little bit of introspection and a little bit of pondering about it is required to actually listen to it, because otherwise it's
quite
just
obnoxious, isn't it? Yeah. If you're not going for that, yeah, and that's his voice, though, isn't it? I think.
I mean, actually, he's got a pretty good range. I mean, he does the sort of over the top thing.
Yeah, it is over the top.
Yeah.
I do think he's got a fantastic voice, and there isn't actually that what's the word? Tone doesn't exist anywhere else.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah. Although I made a reference to Dracula the Muppet Musical a couple ago. There was moments of that again. I mean, there's two sides, isn't there? It's sort of tracks 1 to 7 on one side, the short stuff, and then there's a massive mega epic flight. And there are sort of various. I mean, 1 to 7, there's a different thing going on in every song, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. It's really nice and varied.
Yeah, and it's going along quite. It's all sort of cool, and then there's like a moment. Yeah. A moment of madness when you think, "Oh, this is crazy. What's going on here?" There's sort of
yeah. As soon as you think, well, it's just him singing.
Yeah,
I'm glad enough of that now. Then it changes to a different song, which is completely different. And that's excellent.
So yeah, the epic. Well, the one side thing. I don't know. You expect them to be. I mean, it's supposed to be awesome, isn't it?
Yes, and you don't want to compare it to Supper's Ready.
No.
I think there's a production issue. It is very much the Peter Gabriel 2 Exposure sound, recorded in a cardboard box sound, which is very atmospheric, actually. So for certain things it works really well, but then when you need to move on to something else, it doesn't suit it. And I think he really would have, particularly the second side, particularly the epic, would have benefited from a producer. And I think if you think about it, constructing a great big thing like that, as the writer, you're writing these little bits and you've got an idea about the whole piece. But obviously, it's not one song. It's all these bits, isn't it? So you need a producer. You need someone who can take a step back, I think, and that would have helped it. I think, not just from an engineering point of view as well. I think, but it is very good. I think I enjoy the first side more, strangely.
Yeah.
And actually, my favourite bit is the shortest track and doesn't have any singing on it. It's the wipe, which is just great. It's absolutely awesome. The more crazy it is, the more I like it, I think. It might be because we've just done Nurse with William, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when you compare... it's supposed to be different, yeah, this kind of stuff. Having come from Nurse with Wound, you kind of know what different means,
Yeah. This is just some songs.
This is songs.
There's chord progressions. What's that? Normal.
Yeah.
That's the thing. After Nurse with Wound, you need a month off from music to have a rest.
Yeah. It's kind of unfair, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Whoever we were going to review after that was going to get a rough ride.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, the skin. If you like Van der Graaf Generator, this is probably as close as one of his solo albums gets to VDG.
Oh, is it really? Oh, no idea.
I would say, yeah.
Right.
Because I listened to them all this week.
Did you listen to the opera one?
Yeah, it's great.
Is it opera?
Yeah.
Oh man. And
if you like Peter Hammill, you'll probably like it.
Yeah.
But it's not going to win you over, is it? If you don't.
No. It's a very distinctive, very specific thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he can't really get away from that. And I think that's probably the appeal as well, is that he can do all these different things and it all sounds like him because his voice is so distinctive.
I was thinking Return of the Jedi for some reason. I'm trying to think what I actually...
I'm not going to say Return of the Jedi is a mess. Well, at the time we thought it was the worst Star Wars movie, but we knew nothing.
Is it a mess? That
I think that's a good word. It doesn't mean it's terrible. In some ways it's terrible, in some ways it's really good.
Yeah. I really can't remember what I actually thought about it.
That doesn't bode well, actually, does it?
I think I liked it. No, I watched it in 4D, didn't I?
Oh, with the spraying water in your face or whatever it is.
Yeah, it was very exciting and
like a roller coaster.
Yeah, I like the end where he was sort of thing, but it was a bit crazy. I'm going to project myself and die now.
Yeah, and that extra bit on the end was like an extra bit of film that shouldn't have been there. It should have been, join me, please. That was fantastic, that whole bit, and that should have been the end of the movie. And then we want to see episode 9. I couldn't care less about episode 9 now. The stuff is happening, it's all over the place. Luke's dead. Princess Leia's really dead. Don't care.
Well, maybe it's going to be, they are finally going to bring balance to the Force.
It seems, it's really obvious, isn't it? That's the two of them are yin and yang, and that's the thing.
It was quite good though. Like, I don't know.
The fight sequence. No one hits a lightsaber. I've nicked this from another video. People will know, but no one hits a lightsaber into another lightsaber. Of all the complaints about endless lightsaber fights, in the prequels, there isn't a lightsaber fight technically, but the fight bit when the two of them are fighting the Emperor's Royal Guard guys, that's awesome. And then it turns out he's just got curtains and they just catch fire. And he was just hammering it up, having all that bread behind him.
Yeah,
that was fantastic. Although Snoke was rubbish, that was brilliant. That was fantastic. And then it was just like, well, no, I'm not enjoying you then. And so now he's the bad guy. Yeah. Never mind. But then they had to do that. I imagine they had to do that because nothing can actually happen until episode 9.
It's amazing we're getting there already, isn't it? Have they started making episode 9?
I don't know. It's solo this year, so it'll be Christmas 2019 for the last one. Yeah.
Mm.
And then Yoda, and then Obi-Wan. And there's a Lando movie coming now as well, apparently.
So,
etc. Until we're dead.
It's gone the way of...
Well, Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel.
You think about how much money those Marvel movies have made. They're all trying to do it. It is interesting that no one seems to be able to do it properly.
Yeah.
I think with Star Wars that they've done three movies and they all serve a different purpose. You had the one for us was The Force Awakens because it was a soft reboot. It was just Star Wars again. That's what we wanted, isn't it? But you can do it once. And they did the fan movie, which I thought was a waste of time. It was really boring. In Rogue Squadron. No,
so boring that was.
Yeah, but you speak to Star Wars fans, they think it's the best one.
Really?
They love it because it references, I don't know, whatever that is, something. I don't care about that.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, film with characters.
Yeah, you can see it sort of tying the story. Okay, it works as a backstory, but I mean, so much happens. It's sort of like we're going to do. It's a bit like from Genesis to Revelation. We're going to do the whole Bible in one album. Yeah.
And there was no time for any of the characters, so we didn't care that they all died.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
The Gabriel link is really strong in this one. It's got to be said. Much more so, actually. And Kate Bush and Bowie, definitely. And it's that direction. He's influenced them, definitely. But he doesn't like the comparison with Genesis. And even though it's quite an obvious thing to say, isn't it? Peter Hamill and Genesis and Peter Gabriel and Van de Graaff generator. But I think he has said, well, the difference between Genesis and Van de Graaff was that Genesis wanted to be famous. And they succeeded, But you ask a random person, who's Van de Graaff generator? They'll say it's one of those things with the wavy lines. Or what? Is that somebody German? If there is a flaw, as I said, it's in the production. That works some of the time and doesn't work others, I think. And I think he needed a producer for the second side, and that's the thing. It is amazing how prolific he is and how diverse he is. But at the same, Zappa was. And you realise it's not that prolific to do one album a year. Is it really? I mean, Pink Floyd take 7 years to make an album, whatever it was, Is that more of a... Well, Pink Floyd is just laziness, isn't it? But there's a commercial consideration there. Whereas this guy likes making music. That's what he does. He has much less of a commercial slant on what he's doing. Of course it's commercial. Of course he's got an album and it's on CD and it's there and he's making money out of it. But I think that helps him just create more music. So the question is whether it makes better music or not, or where the line has to be in the line, something. Individual albums follow particular paths, though, and that's quite interesting, which is a very prog thing. Although it's what prog tries to be. It's not what prog bands are like. Prog bands go on a journey and they get to the end and then they're stuck forever, doing the same thing for 50 years. He's doing it for real, I suppose. So that's more prog, the true prog. Yeah, I do really like. I don't like them. I like the bit when she gets blown into space and then flies back into the ship because Magic Mary Poppins. I couldn't quite believe it was happening. So, why? And there's lots of things in the film like that. It's like, why? It's like he's deliberately trying to ruin it. I just don't get it at all. It seems deliberate.
I mean, the tricky second one was it was supposed to be the best one.
Yeah, only when they get it right. So Empire is one of the best movies ever made. I assume that they get basically because they just gave it to one random guy. I'm sure that's the reason. And they thought, right, he's got to have complete artistic control. Do whatever you want. Are you a Star Wars fan? No. Right, do whatever you want with the characters. Ruin everything. Fine. And I'll just leave you to it. I think that's what's happened.
Yeah.
And the whole like Phantom Menace bit when they go to a different, even though sort of in the timeline doesn't fit, it must have taken them ages to get there. They go off to that planet of rich people. That's like a different movie. Some other terrible movie, like a sequel to the prequels. I just...
I think I need to watch that movie again.
Well, if you've only seen it once in a silly cinema thing, yeah. But yeah, like you said, we didn't do a good job with the Van de Graaff reviews, but at the same time, that was kind of the point, is we explored it and there was a thing not there. I really like Godbluff, though, but yeah, there was a thing not there. It is stylistically designed to be that way. You can't undo that, but you can diminish the effects of it. Fogwalking. Did you particularly notice that track?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's really cool, isn't it? That's very Van de Graaff, and obviously it's got what's his name, David Jackson, the guy, not going too much. So that's excellent. And Jargon King, I really liked as well. There's some good stuff on there. The other thing I haven't mentioned is the Marillion thing, or the fish thing. People say Fish sounds like Peter Gabriel. No, it doesn't. It sounds like Peter Hammill. He's just copying Peter Hammill. That's literally what he's doing. He's just trying to... He doesn't sound the same, but that's got to be his number one influence. It has to be. Because you realise that's what he's doing. You put on... what's Marillion's famous album called? It's called... Misplaced Childhood. That's it, yeah. You put that on after this and you think, oh yeah, that's all they're doing. It's just that. Bit of Genesis, bit of Hammill, but you know...
Yeah.
Eggs are getting harder and harder over time. I mean, it's 4 eggs, isn't it? Because it's there. It's something I will go back to when I'm at the right moment, or I'd like to listen to that kind of thing, and then I'll really enjoy it. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I don't think it's ever going to be for me, Kev. 3 eggs.
Right, 3 eggs. There we go.
Yeah, it's never going to be for me.
I hope that was good enough.
Yeah, I feel
viewers at home.
I feel bad because this was a requested.
Yeah, I thought all the Van de Graaff ones were crap, and we want to get this right. But I can't. It was inevitable. I saw it coming, and I couldn't stop it. It was going to be a crap review. It's all right. We talked about Star Wars as well.
Yeah.
Because Mark Hamill, Peter Hamill, a joke. Ha ha. What do you think of Return of the Jedi?
Return of the Jedi. Good enough. Ewoks are a bit stupid, but the scene at the end between Luke and Darth Vader with the Emperor is awesome. Sister, so you have a twin sister. Obi-Wan's failure is complete.
Yeah.
If you won't turn, then perhaps she will.
Right. No. Controversial. Okay. That's the best lightsaber fight. Not Empire. That when he's fucking. That's fantastic. That's the lightsaber fight, not the stupid dance. You know, but yeah, and you know the Sarlacc. Had he already gone through a divorce by then? I'd imagine so. If it was his idea, anyway. I assume it was. But the whole thing with Jabba at the start is like a separate movie, isn't it? It's fantastic. That should have been a whole film.
He's no Jedi.
You know, the search for Han.
Yeah. But, so greatness. With a bit of a slip up with the Ewoks.
Yeah, it was only a disappointment because it came after Empire, actually.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a great film.
Yeah, I agree.
And to make it on topic, the soundtrack was recorded by the LSO, and it was recorded at the end of their season at that time, probably 83 or 82, I'd assume. And Zappa came along and said, "Record my stuff, it's really hard to play." And they're like, "Well, we've finished, leave us alone now. Here's a suitcase full of money, you have to do it." So they had to do it, but didn't do a good job. Controversial.
Mm-hmm. Okay then. Okay.
Don't worry.
We'll be back next week with something else.
Yes, I think Primus. I think we're going to do Sea of Cheese first, which will be good news because you'll realise we're going to do 3.
Yeah. Ooh.